Okay, so recording in progress. Hi, welcome to Allergy Dragon's Lair. We got on Facebook on time. Woo, almost on time, only about 2 minutes late. Last time was 9 minutes late. So we're improving. Second time around, we're improving. So Allergy Dragon Lair, second episode, kind of crazy. So we decided to do, and Cindy's here, obviously. If you've never met either one of us, I'm a chef, and this is my sister. And they are not a chef, but they have multiple food allergies and celiac disease and autoimmune diseases like I do. Yay, runs in the family. So my literal celiac sister is with me, and we are doing a derby party. And I asked for some questions and some community questions, and we actually have one really good community question. But we're doing a theme. We're doing a derby theme. So, Cindy, I think you should introduce us about your hat, and then I'll go to my hat.
My hat is very simple, reserved, more of a conservative Kentucky Derby hat. I really wanted to go outrageous, but my husband was, and being a newlywed, my husband was like, no, tone it down. He wasn't all for I would love to have the plumage and the big flowers, and I would love to have it outrageous. I would love to have a bird cage on mine, but this is simple. Awesome. This is pretty simple, and I just went to in my first time doing crafts, and I don't know how long, and it was dangerous for me because I have neuropathy in my hands that sometimes is better than other days, and let's just say it was not a good day today. I burnt my hand doing it, but it was fun. I haven't done it in a while, so I've never actually been to a derby. I left Kentucky when I was 11, so I have never had the pleasure of going to a derby or attending a derby or working at a derby, as my two sisters have. So, but I love the hats. I actually wait to see who's got what hats. That's the fun part.
Yeah, we grew up in West Virginia, even though I'm the only one that was not born in Louisville, Kentucky, but I live here now. But Mom always watched the Kentucky Derby, and she used to always say, if you live here, you never go. You live there, you don't go. And it's true, but they have tons of parties. So I'm going to go into my hat. So my hat's a little bit crazier. So I have the yellow and the ribbon, and I just fell in love with this ribbon.
Oh,
and that's actually kind of why I went through the hat. And believe it or not, that ribbon's from Dollar Tree. And but then I had this patch because, of course, it's a dragon. Because we're Allergy Dragon, and I'm very not reserved. So I went a little crazy. So I think it's pretty cute.
It is. It's very cute.
I don't think it's too really outrageous.
No. It's not outrageous. It's just I definitely didn't have my creative hat on, I guess you could say.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah, I did this Monday, so to get ready for this. So
I was doing mine this morning, this afternoon. this afternoon.
Well, cool. Yeah. Well, I think it's super cute, and I think it's funny that you went white with black and I went black with yellow. So
I almost went with yellow. There's actually a little white flower on the bow.
Oh yeah, with the yellow center. It's like a daisy. So we kind of coordinated and didn't try to. So that's funny.
Didn't try to. Yeah, you wouldn't tell me anything about your hat.
No, I said I was keeping it a surprise. So because I was very proud of this. Anyway. So okay, so we decided we were going to do a derby theme, and we're also talking about parties and all kinds of stuff, and that we are more than our allergies. We want to have fun. We're human beings just like everybody else. We have celiac disease. We just have to do it a little bit more careful and be a little bit more mindful about things, but we can still have fun and have parties and that kind of thing. And if anybody has any questions, just go ahead and type them in on the chat at Facebook if you're live watching it. I'm seeing people coming off and on. So hello out there. So make sure to leave questions.
Say hi.
And we will, say hi. So I'm going to go over what I made for my drink first, because we're getting a little crazy. Now, see, I can't have rum or bourbon or anything like that. And I know Cindy did some research. Okay, so I've never had a real mint julep. I've worked the derby. I've never had a real mint julep. I have had this virgin mint julep, and the cool thing is we've decided to do these recipes, and we're actually going to put them on Allergy Dragon live after this as well. And so by this weekend, all these recipes, you'll see them on there too. So I made a fake mint julep or a virgin mint julep or just some dry mint julep, however you want to look at it, but it's really not mint julep, okay? Because it's made with like I did a lemon juice and simple syrup with water and sugar, and then you just dissolve it, and then I have ginger ale in it, and I have mint leaves, obviously. So this is my mint julep in my fancy cup, okay? And there's a little sprig of mint in there. It's fallen down though. See, there's my sprig of mint. And it's actually really good because I like ginger ale. Now, I made one for Vesper, my youngest, and I did Sprite because they're allergic to ginger. So you couldn't do the ginger either, Cindy, right? So Sprite. And they said it was,
yeah, I
you can do ginger ale. Okay. So you could add liquor to this, and it would be basically, it's basically like a mint lemonade, honestly, with some ginger ale. I mean, it's good and refreshing, but it's definitely not a cocktail, but it's actually pretty good. And I have a thing for lemonade. So I actually enjoy it. It's quite refreshing. So I'll have the recipe for that. Now you, Cindy, have some drink.
I was going to actually do, I was thinking about, I ended up only doing one drink.
Okay.
And I went a little bit different direction than the classic bourbon mint julep that the Kentucky Derby is so famous for. They actually grew their own mint, and that's how the mint julep came to be. But what's interesting is back in the day, they didn't do simple syrups. They did the little cubes of sugar. So they would use, so the recipe called usually for 4 to 5 mint leaves, and then you muddle it with the sugar cubes, and only 2 sugar cubes. It's very low in, if you were looking for a drink that's low in calories and low in carbs, mint julep is very much the one to go with. And I really I'm not a big mint fan. So I actually went a little bit different way, and similar to what Marty did, but I did a classic whiskey smash, which is also pretty much a contender right below the classic bourbon mint julep. And it is done, again, I did it with not making a simple syrup. I did it actually with, I didn't buy sugar cubes, because you can do the same thing with granulated sugar. So I just muddled 8 leaves of mint and 1/4 of a lemon cut into 3 cubes, muddle it together with the sugar, and you take about 1 ounce of sugar. This drink has a lot more. It has 2 ounces of bourbon whiskey in it, and I didn't even bother putting the sprig. I'm not going to garnish with mint. It's not my thing. I garnished with a straw.
Okay.
And I put in.
You're a Southerner.
I'm a Southerner. I said I had to do something with my Southerners. Come on. That's the only way to drink a drink. But anyway, and then just crushed ice. And what was fun about it is the only thing is this has a lot of carbs, 64 grams of carbs in it. So it's usually something I would not drink, and it's 408 calories. That's a lot of calories and a lot of carbs. And one reason to stay away from dark liquors, your dark liquors also have more carbs in them. And if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, or you're trying to watch your A1C, you definitely don't want to go with dark liquors. Just a little advice from me to you.
Your drinkology there, because you did some serious research.
I did. It was really interesting because I was really interested. And evidently Winston Churchill just loved our mint juleps, by the way.
Oh, okay. So that's how they got famous, because of Winston Churchill?
No, actually Churchill danced with the mint. They grew their own mint, and that's how they actually developed it, the mint julep. But he took it back with him and really enjoyed mint juleps.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah. So I know that you did a cookie and I did a cookie too. So, but we did very different cookies. Very different cookies. So my cookies, and like I said, we will be posting recipes, and I will definitely let you know. Subscribe to allergydragon.com. Okay, so I'm gonna try and see. So this is it's a pretty good. Hopefully you can see him.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are my cookies. Obviously, I can't do. So I was trying to do a Kentucky Derby pie cookie type of thing, but we have a couple problems here. Nut allergies, or tree nut allergy specifically. And usually it has walnuts. Some people use pecans, but traditionally it would be walnuts. Chocolate or dark chocolate. Chocolate allergy here too. So my cookie is vegan. My cookie is gluten-free. My cookie has no nuts. So my cookie is a gluten-free flour-based cookie, and it has I have a half a cup of hemp seeds in it, which actually you can use as a substitution for tree nuts and nuts. Also, tiger nuts work well too. And then, but I didn't use those. I love hemp seeds. They have a lot of protein. And then I'm using white chocolate chips that Enjoy Life has now, so they're vegan as well, and they're safe for us. So yay! And then I have no egg in here. I used an egg replacer by Namaste. I have Namaste flour in here. And then I have sugar. I used a cup and a half of brown sugar, and we baked it at 350 for about 15 minutes. And I did use a shortening in here, oil shortening, and you mix it together and 350 and cook it for about 12 to 15 minutes. We did 15 minutes, and I like a crunchier cookie, and it did stay crunchy, but it's like moist. It's not like crunchy, crack crunchy. It's just a little crunchy on the bottom, but the inside is nice and chewy. It's like a chocolate chip cookie. Vesper was eating them and just loved them. It's got like that little saltiness to it. It does have bourbon in it. So it has 3 tablespoons of bourbon. And like I said, I'll put the recipe up, but this is our version of a white chocolate derby pie, because derby cookie pie, whatever, but with white chocolate. And it's good.
That's good. It's good.
So tell us about your cookie, because they looked real. I've got to see pictures, people.
Okay, so this is my cookie. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to drop them in the,
Yeah.
Do you see it pretty good?
Mm-hmm. You can see yours really good.
Okay. So mine's a gluten-free derby pie oatmeal cookie with bourbon and chocolate, because over in my house, we can still do nuts. If my husband had to give up nuts, we would be, I don't know. That would be hard. I mean, he eats his peanuts. I can't have peanuts at all. But walnuts, pecans, and cashews, I don't seem to have a problem with. So we actually did, because I was doing my research, because again, I didn't know we had a Kentucky Derby pie in Kentucky. So being far away, I said, okay, I'm going to do research. And I'm like, wait a minute. All the, I was just doing researches on the pies. Okay, wait a minute. They use walnuts, and they use, I wanted to do traditional as much as possible. And I said, I like oatmeal. So I was like, oh, maybe an oatmeal cookie would be kind of fun. So mine has bourbon. It has 1/4 of a cup of bourbon in it. And you brown the butter, so it's pretty nice. I did oat flour and rolled oats. And I also have walnuts in mine. Mine has regular sugar and eggs, because we also don't have the issue with eggs here. And I did put chocolate chips on my recipe, but I love dark chocolate. And when I can find dark chocolate, I do the dark chocolate cookie. My cookie is kind of on the soft side. I think I would bake it a little bit longer. This was my first time. I was hoping to test it, do a test drive before this, but I just did not have a good week last week. And then this past weekend, we were traveling, but it's decent. I mean, Will really likes them. So if Will likes them, I'm done good. So
yeah, you've done really good. No, we actually have comments, and I'm sorry, there's like a delay on this Zoom thing. So Jane, our other sister, yeah, there's a third one. I know it's scary. She's on here, and my phone blinked out and then came back on, but it's a delay on Facebook. So I'm sorry about that. So she said she didn't know we were wearing hats. Well, we were keeping it a surprise. And then you guys look great. Thank you. We love you. And then that's why she's a vodka girl. When it comes to the carbs, I'm sure about that. So hi, Jane, and hi, everybody else that's watching with us. Please make sure to leave your comments, and if we don't get to you, it's because it's a delay. So I'm so sorry about that. Oh.
And hit replay if you
that's right. Oh my gosh, a third one. OMG. Yeah, and hit replay. You can always replay it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. We have got, so it's a party. We literally just created our own stuff for our own party. Now, when you're going out, I want to touch base real quick with your recipe. So oats. I can't have a whole lot of oat products, and I have to be very careful. Now, we all know that you have to purity protocol oats, which means oats that are not ground or grown around wheat, not processed around wheat. And some people that have celiac disease can handle it, and some people can't. So, that we leave up to you and how you want to decide. A lot of people have a different things. Like I can only eat about maybe 1 to 2 servings of oats or anything with oats a month, if that, and I'll have issues. So I don't eat a lot of oats, but Cindy's different and can tolerate more oats than I can. So
I do though lean towards finding Bob Resnell's gluten-free oats.
okay. Yeah.
I just feel like they're a little bit more safe in the care of how they treat their stuff. So, but I'm not yeah, I do like oats. But I don't eat them oats either a whole lot either as well.
Mm-hmm. So those would be all the options for you. If you don't want to use the oat flour, you don't have to. You could always substitute it for extra flour or for something else like a buckwheat oat or quinoa or something like that could be put in it.
Mm-hmm. You can actually do this. I could even convert it to flour if I want.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Yes, Jane is lucky and has no allergies that we know of. So it must be nice.
We wouldn't know.
Yeah, neither does our brother either. So the 2 lucky ones and two not so lucky ones. Depends on how you look at it.
Unique 1 and 2.
That's right. Thing 1, thing 2, 2 and 2.
This is not bad, and I'm not a big mint person, but the mint and the lemon with it, not bad. Mm-hmm. Not bad.
Yeah, I think it kind of tones it down. If you're not a huge mint person, then you may not like it as much. But fresh mint is totally different than when you have these minty things that are flavored. So keep that in mind. And then you can control how much mint you want to put it in when you're making it yourself.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, sorry. So let's see here. So the next thing we were going to talk about is pitch parties time. So we're obviously having our derby party in our fancy derby hats. And so Cindy, we have a community question, and I'm going to go over the community question real quick. But we are going to go over our party tips, like for adults and young adults, people that are going to be drinking alcohol. So this is more of an adult party session versus the kiddos, but some of these things do cross over to youngsters. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, the one community question we have, which was like it was last minute too. And so don't forget that you can always submit a community question, even if it's not about the episode that we have currently, we might feature it on another one and that kind of thing. And if you don't want to be your name to be mentioned, just let me know, which is what this person did. They just messaged me and they were like, they didn't say I could use their name. So I don't use your name unless you tell me you can't. I can. So community question, how do you deal with going to like a wedding or a big event that you're the plus one, you're going as the date and you don't know anybody else but the date? So like, that's a good question for like in-laws or things like that. So strangers. So what do you do? And this person happens to have celiac disease like we do, but none allergies, but very similar. So even if you have an allergy or celiac disease, so what would you do, Cindy?
Oh, I have been in this situation more than once.
Yeah, a little bit more so than me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all social butterfly. Well, number one, if it's not knowing the whole details of the situation could be easier for conversation. But what I always like, if I was going to, matter of fact, I was put in that position this weekend. I was actually going to meet part of my new in-laws. So the only person I knew was Will, who was his brother and his wife and her child. And then she had a few friends over. And even though it's even in that situation, it's the first time they're even meeting me. And now I'm his wife. So, it was really, I find that it's just really easy to go in and just kind of sit back for a little bit and get to know a little bit about where you're at and what you're doing. Like sit back and kind of absorb some things. But also, if you're the plus one to the person that knows the people that is going to the wedding, I would ask questions. How well does this person know? Are they going for the bride or the groom? Ask those questions. I would also ask them how well they know that bride or groom. Can you tell me a little bit about the bride? So at least if it or groom, depending upon whose side they are. And then when you're sitting at the ceremony, I assume they would be attending a ceremony, and say, down, get a look around and see if there's some people that might have some qualities that you might be able to like go up and meet. It's really difficult if you're having a sit down meal. I think I would be asking those questions as well. Is, do you know anything about, are we going to be doing a sit down catered meal? Do you know what the meal is? A lot of things I do like that as well. Also, I would probably think about, if we're really sure you might not have something to eat, it is okay to eat before the event. Make sure you have something, or even put some snacks in your purse that you feel comfortable with. There's usually sometimes, if it's a buffet, it's really easier to look and say, oh, well, I can choose this and this. This weekend, my sister-in-law is from Sri Lanka. So she, and one of the things that she did do a lot for, because she knew ahead of time, was that Will can't eat any beef, any red meats. So she did a lot of fish, and she did a lot of, but she uses a lot of spices that I just like ramp up stuff and I can't eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I stuck with a lot, but she did a lot of things that were like she did tabbouleh, which has everything in that I can eat. It doesn't usually bother me. So I ate that, but being aware and asking those questions about, like, what did you do with this? How did you create this? It can be challenging. A lot of times when we're doing potlucks and gone to events, I always say or if it's a sit down dinner, I say, is there something I can make, or can you tell me what the menu is? And even as people I don't know, and I've gotten very much more receptive, I think, with the newer generation than I do with the older generation. Mm-hmm. Newer generations know, they've heard the terms celiac disease. They understand that gluten's an issue. They understand food allergies a little bit more than I think the older generation, which has a tendency, oh, that's just some new fad, or, you're just doing it because it's new, like mm-hmm. Some people, well, I'm gluten-free, or I'm celiac, so when I go to those events, people are more willing to tell me what they've put and how they've prepared stuff. And that way I know what to avoid. And then I bring my own dish, and everybody is aware. I explain to them, hey, this is gluten-free. This is this. It doesn't have this in it, or it has this in it. And please don't mix any of the spoons. This is the utensil. Please don't take it somewhere else. And please don't touch another food with it. And I usually try to make sure I get my portion first. And usually the hostess will let me do that as well. Mm-hmm. It's about communicating and getting mm-hmm. yourself that chance. But I would be definitely, if I was the plus one and I only knew that person, I would be asking a lot of questions from that person. I don't know if they can answer them all, but I would be definitely asking those questions, being prepared.
I think those are very good things. Yeah. And you've had incidences where you're more of the plus one in meeting, because when I met my in-laws, because we've been married for a long time now, like almost 28 years. And so when I was meeting my in-laws, I didn't really know I had food allergies or celiac disease. All that stuff came about later on in life. And we're finding more and more people are having allergies, allergic reactions and stuff later on in life as well. So hello to the older generation. You may have to deal with it for yourself. And, unfortunately, they're seeing a trend with that. So you're right. I definitely feel like the younger generation, or people that really respect me, like they're more into listening or hearing what I have to say about it. And the younger generation, they are the ones that are growing up with it and have had it, because we didn't have as many allergies back then. And it's unfortunate, but that's how it is. And they haven't figured out why yet. But I think those are all very good things. I think the thing I worry about with when you're in a buffet style situation is the same thing that Cindy was touching on, which is making sure that people are not cross-contaminating. So like when we're doing potlucks or that kind of thing, it really freaks me out. I have a tendency to kind of take control of a situation. So like me being the new person or not only knowing the one person, I would probably totally eat before the event. I would probably ask 700 questions, but because I know what can go wrong in a food kitchen, I don't know if I would eat it. I would probably ask who's catering and contact who was catering it directly, and talk to them and see who I could get a hold of. But yeah, definitely got to talk to that person who knows the people. If not, that's how you're meeting them anyway. So they should at least be able to kind of be an advocate for you or with you. Maybe they don't know how to act with it, but it's also a really good thing if this is a boyfriend or a girlfriend, how they react in this situation can also gauge like how your social things are going to happen the rest of your existence, because you can't get comfortable with it. You can't stop checking, because that's when accidents happen, and accidents can be deadly. So and I always have snacks in my bag. I don't care. I always have snacks in my bag. I don't care if I'm going to be out for a little bit or what I think is going to be stuck for a long time, or maybe I will have something to eat, but I have snacks in my bag. I'm going to be going to Faces in June. I will have snacks in my bag.
I'm Marty. She has snacks in her bag.
That's right. That's why people like me. I got food, whether I'm making it or not. And then I think when our mom passed away, this is one incident. They were like, oh, they'd have somebody come in and cater. And I started going over everything that we have in our family. And I was like, I would really feel more comfortable if we just can bring food in. And we did. And then other people brought stuff in and we had it set up where stuff was labeled. And then we had it set up like this was safe food, and the not so safe gluten-free stuff was at the end. We had very divided lines, and pretty much everybody knew not to cross-contaminate, or we had it where it was single serve items that could cause cross-contamination. So I think it's important to communicate, like you said, and the younger generation just gets it a little bit better. So they do. And we're more of the older generation, but that's okay. We're the OGs.
Yeah, we're the original OGs.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's a really good comment about getting directly in charge with the caterer, because even caterers now know so much more about the industry that sometimes if you can tell them that you have they cater to gluten-free people more, and that when I was beginning to leave my job before COVID hit, we did a lot of outside events, and sometimes I had to deal with people that have gluten issues, vegetarians, and vegans, and things like that. And most places can cater to that and specialize, even if they're doing one little meal, they'll usually take that in consideration and set it aside and work it out for you.
Yeah, communication and calling ahead and trying to do as much ahead of time as possible versus just going to the event and expecting, or even going to a restaurant and just expecting them to come up with it like that is really, it's not reasonable in my mind. I think most chefs and most people that in restaurants or that kind of thing, they want, and obviously people hosting, they want you to have a good time. And they want to say yes, but you need to kind of give them that information ahead of time. So I think planning is what we have to do.
Yeah.
And can you hear anything?
Just you.
Okay, cool. It's a noise canceling thing. I have this weird thing going on in the background, and this is new. So I was trying to help with our sound quality. So that's cool if you can't hear what I'm hearing.
Not even going to ask.
It's
yeah,
it's a water pipe issue. So we get air in the pipes and it goes, then they've been having trouble with the boiler. So that's what's going on. So it's basically working. So now that we know about how my apartment life is going, and that you can't hear what I'm hearing, which is cool. We don't have any more questions right now from Facebook that I'm seeing. And we've had a couple people on and off. So I'm assuming Jane is still watching. Hi, and whoever else is. And if you have any more questions or anything to add, please let us know. Now, alcohol is one thing I wanted to broach on, because when we're talking about alcohol and people drinking too much alcohol can be an issue. And it puts you in it. And if you have celiac disease or a food allergy, that puts you in a different realm, because you have no clue what that other person's doing. And if you get inebriated, you want to have somebody that's with you that can help you there too, because you might decide you can eat peanuts all of a sudden or something, like it just depends on how alcohol affects you. And especially I'm talking more to the young adults that have a tendency to get a little bit more inebriated because they don't know their limits. But even some of these older adults don't know it either. So I'm talking to all of you all. And that is just make sure that you have the person that you're with or the group of people that you're with are there to help you. And if you do get too inebriated, they can cut you off, and they're going to make sure that you don't decide to like kiss somebody randomly that may have had your food allergen or anything like that. So
I have something to put to that, because
okay.
I used to drink Grey Goose, and I got really sick, and I was having the conversation with my sister about distilled liquors. Distilled liquors remove gluten. Okay. What we found out was I was having a wheat allergy, and Grey Goose is made with French milled wheat. So that's why I was sick as a dog the next day. I mean, I wasn't violently ill, but oh, my stomach, I was sick the rest of the day next week. I couldn't stand the idea of food on my stomach. And it was just like, that was something I would have never imagined, that wheat was another issue. Wait a minute. I thought gluten was my issue. No, wheat. And then later on, peanuts came up. And eventually I figure I may have to give up my chocolate too, because Marty has the chocolate issue.
So does Vesper.
So it seems like I keep getting to those things. So I have to go get all my food allergies figured out. So it seems like more and more each year.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and that's horrible that it does. Now, our sister Jane says, I'm taking that a little personal. I'm not the one that lost her constitution. So they are referring that to, Jane is referring that to me. I lost my constitution. And if you have never played Dungeons and Dragons, you have no clue what I was referring to. If you have, please make a comment down below and like the video and share it if you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I was walking over a little bridge, and I had a margarita, and this was before I couldn't drink anymore. And I did get inebriated, and I did say that I think I lost my constitution. So, but she still loves to remind it. It's one of her favorite stories, and I appreciate it. So that on that. But then also, Cindy, red wine's an issue for you too, which you didn't find out until like a year or two ago, right? Or a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was the oh gosh, that was it Thanksgiving or Christmas time that came? It was Thanksgiving, I guess.
I think it was a Thanksgiving. Yeah,
it was a Thanksgiving, and we had drank way too much at Johnny's house after I got there.
Yes, you all did. You all did. Yes.
Yes, we did. Me, Jane, and Johnny. But I was such bad shape the next day, and just could not seem to bounce back. And I got really, really sick that whole time I was there. And then came to realize I can't touch red wines at all. Yeah, that was really, yeah. So all whites.
Mm-hmm.
All white. All white.
Yeah.
All white.
I'll have to find that linked. I'll have to link it sometime that where I was showing you about the red wine can be an allergen, different types of things, and also wines themselves. If you have a fish allergy, there's all different things that can be. So liquor is an issue. You definitely need to look into it. Liquors and wines and that kind of thing. Jane is laughing at us, and then says that she's had a 3-foot force field around her, blocking our allergens. So good to know.
The force is strong with that one.
The force is strong with that one. And she apparently did not roll a 20. So anyway, or she has, maybe. I'm the one with the 20 though, because of the dragon. But or I may have got that wrong. It's been a long time since I played Dungeons and Dragons, people. I'm sorry. So anyway, yeah, it's interesting. So definitely check into those alcohols and that kind of thing. And I think that's really all I have as far as like that stuff. I think your hat's snazzy. I think my hat's pretty snazzy.
This one actually, this hat kind of reminds me of Aunt Ramona.
Oh yes, I totally get the Aunt Ramona vibe there with that one.
I like see Aunt Ramona several times anymore in a day. I'm like going, dang, when did Aunt Ramona get in my mirror? So
Even the glasses too, like really, Aunt Ramona Mulberry Bush. Yeah, there you
yeah, I
go.
was trying to find my other glasses because sometimes my glasses I feel like they would have kind of so I was trying to find my other ones and I couldn't. And so I said, oh well, and I put those on and I put this hat on and I said, oh my God, Aunt Ramona.
That's okay.
And my little hair in the back is kinky like hers.
Huh? Well, that's cool.
My little kinky curls. So
I think
yeah,
that's
so
cool.
I'm channeling Aunt Ramona. So
You guys are some snazzy Aunt Ramona looking peeps. Our sister. Okay, well, that's definitely a family thing. So if anybody that knows Aunt Ramona or knows of Aunt Ramona, you can leave your comments as well. So it's a good person to be told that you have qualities like. So at least it's good. At least it's good.
They're good qualities. Good
They're good
qualities.
qualities.
Yeah.
So she was the short aunt, and I then inherited the short auntness. So because she was 4'11" and I am 5 something. I don't even know anymore. I'm like 5'3".
You weren't really, yeah. I think you're about the same height as me. I mean, I just kept saying 5 foot, 5 foot, 5 foot, and I had 5'4". But
yeah. Well, at one point I was like 5'6", but I think with my arthritis and stuff, I've shrunk, and so I'm like 5'4" last time I got checked with everything because of my curving, and my discs don't like me. So let's see here. I guess we should go ahead and end this up because we don't have any other questions coming through about parties, and I can't think of anything else to add in. I think we kind of covered quite a bit.
I think we did quite a bit. I just hope we'll have another one next in May.
In May, I believe May 25th, I think, but the third Wednesday of May. And we have a really cool theme, and we're going to have a guest, I think. Ooh.
We did?
Yes. We've talked about this before.
Oh. Well,
someone is not remembering.
I'm old. Wait a minute, the third or the fourth Wednesday?
The third Wednesday.
That's
what
the
day?
18th.
It was at the 18th. Okay, I got the wrong date. We're doing third Wednesdays of the month. Is that the better one?
Yeah, the 18th, May 18th.
Okay, May 18th. Sorry, I had the wrong day.
You probably told me, but you know I'm old and I have old timers disease.
Yeah, you have some timers. Sometimes she remembers, sometimes she don't. So
I do a lot more. Sometimes she don't remember.
I hear you. Okay, so basically, if you have any community questions or you have any questions that we did not cover in this episode and you would like us to cover, you can obviously leave a comment below, message us directly on our social medias. You can subscribe to allergydragon.com. And you can get all of our good recipes and everything else on there. So we will have links below. And if you're watching this playback on the YouTube, go ahead and obviously comment, like this video, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and to all of our social medias. And we'll have everything linked below. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to say goodbye. Bye. And we're going to hit record and stop. And we're going to talk to y'all later on Facebook. Bye.